With AEW, the question is always, how low can you go? And this week, we got the answer to that. And it is very low. In fact, it is the lowest rating that AEW Dynamite has ever had. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And Tony Khan, at this moment in time, he must be sitting there absolutely shiting his pants because the numbers are in. They don't look good. We were debating whether or not they would lose to NXT. They just didn't lose to NXT. I mean, they lost big time. They did their lowest rating of all time. And they even lost to Expedition Unknown that was on the Discovery Channel at the same time in the key demo. What the hell is an Expedition Unknown? I have no idea. But AEW Dynamite lost it, brother.
They lost it, brother. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, I thought the biggest massacre was the ending to Raw this week. Turns out it was Wednesday night's Dynamite, because this is horrendous. 502. We actually talked about that. We were actually debating in the NXT quarters and ratings, like, I don't know if Dynamite's going to beat it or not.
More people died in the Raw Gorilla than people watched AEW Dynamite. It's like, what the hell has happened here? So, yeah, no word of a lie, no joke, no trolling. There is a real number, and the number is very real. And in fact, for Tony Khan, it's probably too real, because the number that AEW Dynamite did this week on TBS was 502,000 viewers. Just breaking the 500,000 mark. It is the lowest viewership ever for a Dynamite show. They did a 0.16 in the key demo, and that is also the lowest rated key demo for a Dynamite show. And this is the same show that Tony Schiavone and Excalibur were saying towards the end it was one of the greatest Dynamites of all time. We even addressed that in our review by calling the review one of the best Dynashites of all time. Some people thought that meant we somehow thought it was a good show. No, we were ripping the piss out of Excalibur and Tony Schiavone, and now they just look like even bigger idiots for saying how good that show was, when in reality it was a garbage show. And the ratings reflect that. So where does Tony Khan go from here? Where does AEW go from here? I think he's done pretty much all he can. You know, he's brought in anybody that can still go with any sort of name value. He brought in CM Punk. He brought in Bryan Danielson. He brought in Edge. He's brought in Chris Jericho. He's brought in all the other mid-card guys that weren't having good runs in WWE. He brought in Sting.
Christian.
I mean, where's he?
The Hardys.
Where's he? And he failed with most of those guys. I mean, where is he going to go next? We know that Goldberg is looking for a retirement match. Hulk Hogan has been banned from AEW for life, brother. Is he going to make a big money move here for Stone Cold Steve Austin? Apparently, there's some rumors that Shane O'Mac is interested in working with AEW. Well, here comes the money. It's going to take a lot of money for Tony Khan, I think, to get Shane O'Mac on board. But that might be what it takes to get AEW Dynamite back up to where they want to be. I would not be surprised if Dynamite never hits 1 million viewers again in their lifetime.
No, I don't think it will. Shane McMahon, labelled once as the best in the world. They lost that a year ago. Could they get it back this time? No. I mean, Shane McMahon, I think they need him. I said earlier they need him. They need an actual authority figure that ain't the cringiest thing known to man. Because Tony Khan, yes, I think it's so bad, it's good, but they lost. I think they lost it. I mean, a month ago, Tony Khan, they were actually doing some good stuff, storylines with that. We were preferring AEW to WWE. Fast forward a month later, what's happening? There's nothing happening.
You know what? I mean, whether I wouldn't really say it was good, but they were trying.
No, I mean,
it was intriguing. It was intriguing seeing Tony Khan getting wiped out, and we thought we were going to get some sort of power struggle, and that just hasn't happened. That's completely died off. We have two authority figures in AEW. We have Christopher Daniels. We have the Young Bucks. They never really interact with each other. There's nothing going on there. It doesn't feel like a power play. It literally just feels like we've got a face guy that can make decisions for the faces, and we've got a bunch of heels that can make decisions for heels. That's all that we have.
It's like, do they not learn for WWE though? It's like, you look at the authority figure, look at Adam Pearce. And why did AEW literally do a carbon copy of Adam Pearce with Christopher Daniels? Look at the amount of people in the company. Look at the. I mean, why not get Joker Sting as an authority figure? Doesn't have to wrestle anymore. Joker Sting as a authority figure. I'd be tuning in every week.
Anyway, I don't know about that far, but they need people tuning in every week. There's no doubt about that. So this week's episode is down 26% in viewership. Last week it did 681,000. This week 502,000. And in the demo it's down 30%. Last week it did 0.23. This week it did 0.16. So I mean the numbers there are abysmal. There's just no denying it.
I mean, to lose a quarter of your audience, there had to be big competition for them, because to lose a quarter just randomly is absolutely bizarre.
Well, let's look at the competition. What were they up against? Dynamite was outranked in the demo by the College World Series on ESPN, which did a 0.42, and Expedition Unknown on Discovery, which did a 0.18. I mean, let's be honest, that College World Series, a 0.42, that's not a great rating.
No, it's not.
That's like 2/3 of what Raw would get or SmackDown would get. So that's a poor rating. I mean, College World Series probably did about a 1.3, 1.4, I would imagine. That Expedition Unknown, I mean, that can't have done much more than, I wouldn't say any more than 600k. And so it's not like you had something that was on at the same time that got millions and millions.
Are they going to bounce back from this though? Or is Tony Khan going to go all out next Wednesday?
Well, look, the build-up to Forbidden Door, there is no build-up. We've been saying that for AEW will not get better until after Forbidden Door, because not that it's going to improve drastically, but right now there's nothing happening in AEW. You've basically got Forbidden Door coming up, and it's a bunch of matches with people that really aren't involved in AEW. You've got like an AEW guy taking on a guy from outside of AEW. So there's nothing really going on right now. You look at MJF. We found out his opponent on Dynamite, Aew, and him and that guy have never even fucking interacted with each other. So they've wasted like 3 weeks of building up an MJF Rush kind of feud just to drop that off on the penultimate week before the pay-per-view, and then go with MJF versus Aew. I think the only decent thing for me right now is the Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm stuff, but women have proved that they're just not a draw in AEW.
No, they're not. And do we feel that AEW is only going to go down from here, or do you think there'll be a rebound, but it'll just constantly get worse? I mean, it's constantly got worse in the get.
But you know what? I just don't think AEW's trends. It's like, see when WWE do stuff with the women that is considered like sexy or whatever, the clips that they do, the Liv Morgan clips are drawn. I think Dynamite could go down a similar route, and it just wouldn't have an impact.
Yeah. We'll have to wait.
I don't think
we'll have to wait and see. Tony won't do it.
The people that want it, the people that are watching Dynamite, I don't think they care about hot women. Maybe hot men.
They want Will Ospreay taking on.
They want Daniel Garcia coming out, thrusting his hips and, you know, rubbing his crotch on Shibata's back of the head. So
I'm intrigued for the quarters.
I'm intrigued for the quarters as well. But before we get into that, let's look at the YouTube views then for AEW Dynamite. So the most viewed clip after approximately, the most viewed clip is MJF and Rush in a brutal battle to kick off Dynamite, and it's getting smoked by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's smoking this.
But this match being the highest viewed, I don't think a match should ever be the highest viewed unless it's like of significance.
Yeah, but this is approximately a day and a half after this was uploaded. Joe Hendry had like well over 300,000 views after 12 hours.
Yeah.
Second place, 221,000 views. AEW World Champion Swerve and International Champion Will Ospreay face to face. 2 belts there, and neither of them feel important.
I had a hit list and you had a hit row.
134,000 in third place. Match set. AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa signed the contract. Fourth place, 132,000 views. Claudio versus Pac in the first round of the Owen Hart tournament. 127,000 views in fifth place. We've got Daniel Garcia making his case for the AEW International title shot. Sixth place, you have the AEW Tag Champs, the Young Bucks and the Acclaim clash in a title eliminator. Seventh place, you have 57,000 views. Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose. Nobody wants to see that. And then in eighth place, you have an exclusive. Again, the Young Bucks here, they're made it to be this awesome tag team. Anytime you see the Bucks, man, no one's really tuning in. No one's watching their clips.
Yeah, but if you look at this, man, it's pretty much it's just a lot of matches, isn't it? And in the two segments, like there's nothing like interesting. It's just like they talk in the ring and sign a contract, and I mean the face to faces. Where's the backstage stuff? And WWE doesn't do it as well. Where's the good stuff? Like parking lot brawl. Do you know AEW needs to go down that route?
WWE doesn't more than AEW.
No, they do, but I mean, like we've seen at the AEW pay-per-view, when you actually had them brawling backstage and he used the fan, I think they could incorporate that stuff in the actual TV shows, not just whip it out for like a 4-on-4 match. And hell, they'll probably do it as Forbidden Door. But for me, I think the ship is sinking, and I'll be intrigued to see what he does on Collision, because he's gonna have to do something. Is he not?
Is he though? Is he going to magically just change the plans up?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to do it drastically, but...
Is he going to do a McMahon and just scrap the fucking writing for Collision an hour before the show because he's reacting to these numbers?
He's a petty man, Tony. He's going to have to do something.
Just claim fake news.
No,
just claim the numbers are fake.
Yo, look at numbers they're doing on a good network. What network's going to want AEW when it runs out?
On a Wednesday night with pretty much no competition.
Yeah, this is horrendous. We've looked at the competition.
I mean, if
AEW
Dynamite was going up against, let's say, Monday Night Football, they'd be getting absolutely tanked. Anyway, that's it, guys. 502,000 views. Lowest rated Dynamite of all time. Not good for Tony Khan. How will he respond? Will we get any massive signings? Who's going to be the next person to become all elite? It's going to be interesting to see because he has to do something. These numbers are getting drastically low, and all of a sudden, the focus for AEW Dynamite isn't getting back to over 1 million. It's not even getting over 800k. Seems like the focus now is to try and stop yourself from falling under 500,000, because that 500,000 mark, they are so close to it now, within touching distance, and who knows, a couple more shows like this, and they might very well touch it, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it, till next time, peace.